Hey guys, it's Edwin here, and today I'll be answering this question of how do you really know if someone is lying about the future you'll have together, or if someone is really just honest about the future you'll have together in that relationship. Actually, this normally happens when, let's say, you're dating someone and then you talk so much about the future you'll have together. Then they talk about how they will make your life happy, how they will take care of the kids, how they will buy you this, or how they will invest in something once they finish the project they're doing. So when you are tagged along into this relationship where things are happening in the future, the things you want, let's say you want to have a house by the mountains or a house by the lake or by the beach, but you're just tagging along with that person because that person is promising you those deep desires you have. Let's say you want two kids, that person is giving you that, promising you that, not giving you, promising you. So you might get yourself into this point where you are so glued to the future of the relationship, the moment, to the point where you don't look at what's happening in the relationship now. So how do you really know if someone is just lying about the future? One of the first signs is inconsistent statement. So let's say this person today is saying this, like, hey, I'll build you that house by the beach. Then the next week he'll be like, hey, that house by the mountain. Like, there's just these inconsistent statements in their promises. Like, there's just something which doesn't add up. When you see that something doesn't add up, just start questioning more, or start not believing what they say as much. The second one is inconsistent promises. So something about future promises is, or something about people who promise you about this good future is, they will also make small promises in your, let's say, if you're staying together, they may make a promise like, hey, I will wash the utensils tomorrow, or hey, I'll make you dinner tomorrow. They'll just make these small promises, but something about them is they will not also meet those promises. They'll find a way to make an excuse, or they may not just do it, they may come home late. So when someone doesn't deliver in those small promises which don't even have any monetary value, but they are small promises, but they don't deliver, don't expect that person to deliver something big. So don't brush it aside and say like, there's no problem with that, like that's just a small promise. We were to go for lunch next week and he didn't deliver, or she didn't deliver what they had promised. So what you do is look at those small promises they make. If someone, like, let's say 9 out of 10 meets all those small promises, then it means that that person probably will meet the future promises. So don't ignore and say like, that's a small thing, I can let that rest. No, if you ignore these small promises, then in future the big promises will also not be there. The other sign is withholding information. So if you are dealing with someone who, yes, talks to you about the future, but when you try to question about how you will realize the future, they will withhold the information about that future. Let's say if someone wants to invest in something, your partner wants to invest in something, then you ask them about it, and then they are like, it's okay, I'll tell you when the time comes. Then you find that it's 1 year, 2 years down the line, and then they keep telling you that I'll tell you when the time comes. So they're withholding the information which is necessary for you to determine if those future promises will come to light. So they're just tagging you along and using you. The other feeling is lack of commitment or reluctance. So the commitment is all about discussing about future plans together, or coming up with future plans together and taking action in the present moment. So if someone is just making those promises like, hey, we will do this once I get this, or once we get married, I'll, let's say, change this behavior, or I'll do this. No, that's just a future promise. But in the present moment, are they showing any commitment? Are they even giving you a plan, or are they even like seeking your guidance in establishing a clear plan on what you have to do in the present moment? So if someone is having that feeling of in just that lack of commitment, not really putting 2 feet in the relationship, it means that this person really is not in your future, and there's no need for you to invest so much in the relationship. Because if someone is so invested in future, the only place you can invest in is in the present moment. So if someone is not invested in the present moment, that person will not invest in the future. They'll just use you for their own needs. It's that simple. The last thing is that gut feeling. Have you ever met someone and then you're dating and then you're like, wow, everything is so good to be true. Like, this person knows my everything, knows my preferences, knows my favorite color, knows my love language and all those kind of things, and then you really feel like it's so good to be true. Trust that feeling. Don't just say like, no, it's just me. No, trust that feeling. When you really feel that it's so good to be true, just know that that person is probably putting on a mask to lure into the relationship. That person is just mirroring your deep desires. So when someone mirrors your deep desires, there's that tendency of wanting to be with that person because you feel that you are connecting, like you're intimate, because that person knows how to pour to your desires. So if you really feel that there's something which is off, that anxious feeling in your stomach, take time, pause, and don't rush the relationship, because any future promise may really drive you to this point of not looking at the relationship now. So those are the 5 signs. And the thing about these future promises is, if you really live with someone, or if you are really in a relationship where someone has some undesirable behavior, the best time to solve that behavior is not once you get married or once the relationship is official. No, the best time to solve it is now, because in the early stages you've not yet fully invested in the relationship. You are not yet like that attached, so you can even it can be easy to leave. But if you push it to the future because you don't want to lose the future, that's where trouble begins. That's where you find yourself in a relationship where someone lied to you all along for 2 years, 5 years, so that they could use you for their needs, so that they could use your money, so that they could use you for sex and all those kind of things. So always know that. Look at the relationship for what it is now. Even when the future comes, it will still be the present moment of that time. So look at the relationship for what it is now. If you have issues, solve it, and don't procrastinate and push it to the future. Hope you found that informative, guys. Until next time, have a nice day.